What is up, guys? This is your boy Superior Simmer, and today I have some more information regarding Paralives. If you guys like news, updates, and discussions, please hit the sub button, and if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. I also do have an affiliate link with Instagame to bring you guys cheaper games. If you guys click the right side of the screen or the link in the description, you'll find a bunch of deals on cheaper games. They have racing, adventure games, and of course life simulation. Without further ado, let's get into the video. All right, guys, so we have our day 0 patch for Paralives. It is officially release day for Paralives as well. Comment down below your thoughts and opinions on the game. Give me your first impressions. How do you guys feel about Paralives? I've seen a lot of mixed reviews, which we'll get into later, but I have actually yet to play the game myself. I definitely want to obviously make content and stream it soon. It's a very busy week for me, so that's the only issue, but most likely next week for sure. And of course, shout out to the Sims community for compiling all this information. I will leave their link in the description. Now, before we get into the patch notes, there's also a post-release roadmap. So May 25th, 2026, Paralives releases in early access, which is today. So again, some of the perks for purchasing this early is that you get to play the game while it's still in development. You can share feedback and bug reports to help shape the future of Paralives. Then June to September, they have a bunch of hot fixes, so performance optimization, bug fixes, tweaks to existing features, and then quality life improvements. And then within 2 years of early access, so these are just a bunch of free updates. This is for the first major update, Q4 2026. It's gonna be weather and seasons, pools, pets, and more. And I just saw on Twitter, shout out to Cinematically, he posted on Twitter that Paralives has over 78,000 active players already, which has generated at least 1 million USD in revenue for the team. And then for context, their Patreon brought in about 3 million USD over its entire lifetime. Again, shout out to the Paralives team. This is a huge thing. I know a lot of people are like, oh, how are they going to survive without charging future DLC? But yeah, there are ways of supporting the game without having to purchase every single piece of DLC. Just buying the game obviously helps supports them. Again, they can grow their team. Constructive criticism is the key to this. I feel like there's a lot of people that get offended when people mention things that they don't like with the games. I don't think that makes sense. I feel like at the end of the day, they want feedback. You know, if someone's saying they don't like something with the game, that is going to help the Paralives team fix that and improve the game, right? So I'm hoping that as this game grows and there are a bunch of creators that play this game, more people are honest with how they feel about the game so it can improve. If we're just, being like a yes man and saying, oh, this is perfect, that's amazing, and not highlighting the issues with the game, it's not going to get better in the long run, right? We have to be honest and call these things, because again, we didn't do that with Sims, and current state of Sims is diabolical, bro. It's really bad. So I'm hoping this time around people are a lot more honest and forthcoming with the issues with Paralives, so again, it can be a better game. And apparently they also have a collaboration with Among Us. I think there might be more collaborations that I've seen, but this is the first one I've seen. This is like free game content, and you can basically just dress your pairs up as these Among Us characters, which I find really funny. There's a bunch of Among Us plushies, Among Us toys. I used to play Among Us back in 2020 during lockdown, so definitely some good memories. But yeah, you can basically dress up your pairs in Among Us themed costumes, and there's just a bunch of plushies and stuff. I'm actually just looking at this for the first time, but you can also play Among Us on the computer as well, which I think is so funny. There's an Among Us poster, some stickers. Yeah, even now I'm looking at this image here, they're literally playing Among Us on the computer, which I think is just, that's so funny and amazing. So I think this collab is really cool. Definitely excited to see what other collabs they do in the future. Looking at the new update, so again, this is official patch notes for day 0. These are the improvements. There's interactable items that can now be added to your inventory directly from the interaction menu in live mode. It was previously only possible in build mode. All 5 restaurants in Melino, I could be saying that wrong, now have meals for sales on their front counter. The ability to order food at your table will be added at a later time. All collectibles like mushrooms, gems, and artifacts now correctly have a sell value based on their rarity. Rare mushrooms, rare gems, and rare artifacts spawn too rarely, so the odds have been increased slightly. Accessibility menu, players can now tone down the strength of the foliage, animation for trees, grass, flowers to help reduce potential motion sickness. Now these are bug fixes, so pair folks will no longer refuse to sleep on the lawn chairs when too tired. They fixed an issue where pair folks will sometimes fail to properly perform these interactions. First kiss, get intimate for the first time, try for baby now. Fix an issue where the pair folks wouldn't walk home when doing the go home interaction on certain lots, and they fixed a bug where negative points were displayed in green instead of red in the success chance breakdown tooltips. Pair folks will no longer get struck when attempting to walk out the second floor of the Story Nook restaurant. Kick the shiitake, I could be saying that wrong, town request. The mushrooms can now be kicked correctly. One man's trash, town request. The trash can now be picked correctly. Clean the beach, townie request. The trash can now be picked correctly. correctly. They fixed the bug where you wouldn't undo eyebrow preset selection in the Paramaker. As a person who doesn't have eyebrows, I appreciate this bug fix. Balance the volume of some ambiance and Foley sounds. Is it Foley sounds, whatever. Folks will now have their hygiene need increased when crying in the shower. They fixed various missing localized text throughout the game. The train ticket in Paramaker now displays the correct name for the town to Melino instead of to Paralives. Fixed 2 work perks that gave 0 per day instead of the correct amount. The description of some of the households in the train were displayed in English even when playing in other languages. This has been fixed. Folks will no longer walk outside of their house after using the bathroom at home. Rugs no longer block the path of folks during the Astronomy town events. Fix a bug where repairing an item would charge a household 20 paradigms more than once. Now, I think this is, I don't know if this is a post from Sims community or the Paralives team, but they said, remember that you won't have to update your game to experience these improvements. All these issues listed above were mostly experienced over the last couple of days during the Paralives press and creator showcase. So yeah, if I'm not mistaken, they do have a Paralives like creator program. I'm not in it. Based off what I'm seeing with the Steam reviews, this is where the game is being sold. It might be other platforms, but I'm only aware of Steam. It started off very mixed because I've seen a lot of people saying even with the minimum requirements that their setup has, they were running into a lot of crashing. Like apparently Paralives was crashing their computers, and then there's other people just saying like the game needs a lot of like optimization. I have seen some creators that have played this game with high-end PCs, and there has been a lot of stuttering and stuff. Again, the game is in early access. They're gonna run into these issues. Obviously there's a bunch of bugs and stuff. It's early access, it's fine, but obviously this is stuff you guys should be aware of before you purchase the game. I will say right now, if you have a very low-end PC, I don't know if you should get this game right now, just because you might run into a lot of issues. I know they do have a sale going on for early access, and then that sale is going to go away. So if you're planning on getting the game anyways, yeah, get it now because it's on sale. But if you're not like in a rush to play Paralives and you have a low-end computer, probably hold off on that just because there's a lot of issues going on with the game. So you're probably not going to have the best experience. And again, first impressions is everything. So you definitely don't want to have a bad first experience playing this. So I keep that in mind. There has been some people saying, hey, like it's just not optimized. There's a lot of bug fixes, which obviously we knew going into this because it's in early access. But yeah, I definitely want to do my own review, also a first impressions video coming soon. I just don't know when, just because like this week is a very busy week, but I will definitely get those types of videos out. And of course, whenever there's a new Paralives update, I will keep you guys updated as soon as I can. But yeah, with that being said, this is all for today. If you guys made it to the end of this video, I appreciate you so much. Hope you guys have a nice day and take care.